Okay, y'all. Let's talk about let's talk about the Miami Mall incident that happened on January 1st. That's getting so much coverage, and that lots of people have lots of different opinions about. And I want to weigh in on what I think of it all. Now, I remember last year when the that MFR is not real story with the plane lady happened. I thought it was interesting enough to talk about, and I gave my thoughts on what I thought. What I gathered was, my best, educated guess concerning what was really going on, what was really happening. With this story in Miami, I don't know. I don't know what to think. And I'm going to tell you reasons why I doubt the quote-unquote official story, but there's also, I think, plenty of reasons to doubt or to question some of the things that are being said about, what supposedly really happened. So the story is, the story is complicated. I don't even know how to summarize it. I guess we could say what they say the official story is. Let's begin with the official story. The official story is that there were a bunch of kids, a bunch of teens. You know what that means, don't you? When they say a bunch of teens or a bunch of youths, I mean we can decode that, can't we? Yes, I think we can. But these people, these guys, I'm assuming it was guys, were running around being miscreants and setting off firecrackers in this what's called Bayside Mall, this open air mall. The first when I heard mall, I thought it was indoors, because that's when I tend to think of malls. But this was an open air mall, so it was not. So they were not setting off the firecrackers indoors. Nevertheless, it was it was not a responsible thing to do. And that was it, and that's why they sent the police down to take care of these kids who were misbehaving in this manner. Now, the reason why so many people, myself included, doubt that they're telling us the whole truth is quite simply because when you look at the helicopter footage, you see clearly that there are a shit ton of cops. I've heard that, perhaps 100 police cars have pulled up out in front of or all around surrounding this mall. So this huge police presence there. So a call was put out, and that for. I mean, I don't even know what. I don't know I don't know what different summonses mean. What they are in cop lingo or whatever. But you hear about a 4-alarm fire or 5-alarm fire where there's four fire trucks or 5 police trucks. This was like 120, let's just say, police car emergency. Now, does that fit with the notion that what the cops were there to do was to round up a bunch of kids who were being rowdy and setting off firecrackers in the mall? Does that make any sense? No, it does not. So I think we can dismiss the official story for that reason alone. Now, the unofficial story, or some of the rumors that are circulating, concern what's been called aliens being sighted or Nephilim being sighted, and there's some very fuzzy footage of what looks like could be some enormous walking being. But on the other hand, I can't tell, and I think a lot of people who have seen the footage can't tell either. There's also things that that supposedly were done that I can't confirm, that might be true or might just be rumored. They say that the airspace over the mall was shut down, so no planes could fly above the, or no craft could fly above the above the mall, except for the police helicopter that they had going there. That's the helicopter from which you're able to see the supposed aliens or Nephilim or whatever the hell they are. And there also, I also heard things about power going out, like there being massive power outages for much of the city that surrounds the area where this mall is. Again, I don't know whether that's true or not. Cannot confirm, but it's what's being reported by many. There are also some interesting, well, not many actually. There have been a few interesting testimonies from witnesses or people that maybe were witnesses or claim to be witnesses. Of course you take all those reports with a grain of salt. The one witness that they talked to that seemed like, for me, passed the smell test, and I'll see if I can find it. I think it's just on BitChute, but because I was scouring BitChute to find eyewitness testimony, and there were at last count three eyewitness accounts. One was from a guy who was pretty funny, who was talking about how all these fat chicks and old ladies were running away, or just sprinting away from this being that kept appearing and materializing and then disappearing, and how he was saying you don't see fat chicks and grandmas run that fast unless something's really going on. And but then the next day he recorded another video where he said, nah, I was just making that up. Did somebody get to him and tell him to take it back, or was he just being honest and truthful in the second time around? Don't know. No way to know. There was one other guy who just said, yeah, we saw this happened and they're covering it up, and he said he reported seeing something similar, like some creature or something emerging and materializing and dematerializing and then rematerializing again. So something with very odd properties. But to me, the most interesting testimony, and I will link to it below in the description, comes from a guy who's speaking in Spanish, but it sounds like it was his Spanish is translated into English. And he was somebody who was there, who said he was a graffiti artist, and he was there at some art thing, like some street art convention or something. I don't know. And he gave the fullest sort of testimony of everybody that I've heard. And according to him, he saw a bunch of kids who were, in his words, nerdy looking kids who were not thugged out. And they had backpacks and things, and according to him, they took out this device that looked like a DVD player and plugged it in, and then this portal emerged, and he drew a picture of everything. And out of the portal, he saw out of this sort of, I guess, like 3D portal that appeared when these kids plugged in this machine that they had with them. So he saw an arm and a leg of some creature crawl out of. Okay. So, again, eyewitness accounts are scarce. This guy sounded sincere. Like, I don't know. He sounded sincere, and he was saying that he had a couple of other friends who were taking footage of it, and he was waiting to see their footage somewhere on the internet, but apparently that footage has not been shown anywhere, because there's no clear footage of anything close to definitive anywhere. So, is it aliens? Is it Nephilim? I don't know. I do think that it's kind of obnoxious. This kind of disappointed me when Matt Walsh and some other Daily Wire guy got on together and were just mocking the whole idea of it being anything other than the official story. And they were sort of, you sort of thought, hey, Matt, man, I thought you were my boy, I thought you were on my side. But they were doing this whole, baiting the conspiracy theorist thing, and it was disappointing. I would say that much. Not that Matt Walsh is somebody that I look up to immensely, but I thought he was better than this. Anyway, so we have this Daily Wire video where they're just being extremely condescending and dismissive of anybody who thinks that something weird is going on. But I would point to the massive police presence as evidence that they're not telling us everything. Beyond that, I really am not comfortable saying anything. But I will link to the young man who gave this interesting testimony that I just was talking about. And you can see that below in the description, and make up your own minds. And I'm interested to hear what anybody else thinks. Thanks for watching.